of course it.
Hello everyone, this is Vysakh G Nair and I'm here to give you a brief introduction to the amazing field of UX design. I believe at least some of you might have heard about this term UX design. It is the short for user experience design, or we can say that it is the design for users experience. If you look online to find out what is UX design or what does a user experience designer do, you can find these results. You can go through these definitions, but I would say that it is really difficult to get a clear picture from definitions. So to sum up, we can say a user experience designer is there to make products and technology more usable, enjoyable, and accessible for humans. If we were to list out some of the everyday tasks of a user experience designer, it will include conducting user researches, creating personas, determining information architecture, etc. A lot of unfamiliar terms, isn't it? So to make it more simple, we would say if a user experience designer is to make a product, or if he is to redesign something, he will try to ask a lot of questions. Questions like who, what, why, when, where, and how. And then he will try to answer these questions one by one. So we can say that UX design, it deals with everything that affects the user's experience with the product. When I say product, it includes both digital and physical products. For example, it applies to physical products such as be it a pair of scissors, door handles, a coffee cup, etc., as well as the digital products like mobile applications, web applications, websites, etc. We were talking about this term experience for a while now. Experience, users experience, experience designing, etc. So what exactly is this experience that we are referring to? What is this experience? We'll consider a simple example for that. Consider a book. As you know, a book's duty is to deliver us with its content. Or we can say that we use a book to read whatever is inside it. So we have the content already. We have an interface, which is the book itself. And the experience would be using this book to read the content. So we can say that using the product to serve its desired result is what experience means. So let's say you are a user experience designer and you want to make this experience of reading the book a better one. What will you do? You should start asking questions like who will be using it, what is the real problem here, why is it important, when will the user use this book, does he normally read it before going to bed, or is there any other particular time during the day which he will be using this book, and where will he read this book, will he take it to his office to read during his breaks, and how will he use it? Let us consider some of these questions and try to analyze it. Let us consider the target audience first. Who will be the target audience of this specific book? Will that be small children, or will it be old age people? We should consider this question very seriously, because if it's intended for children, its language should be more easy. It should be more easily understandable, and it should be supported with good graphical elements. If it's for all people specifically, we may have to pay special attention to its letter styling, its size, spacing, structure, etc., so that they don't find it difficult to read. Please look at these examples to understand the effect of these factors. These are both the same content displayed both on the right and the left, but with better font and spacing, the one on the left is more readable and serves its purpose in a better way. Now compare these two. They're also both the same content, but it is structured in two different ways. This tells you how proper structuring can help you convey the intended message in a better way. Now let us consider the next question. How will the user use this book? Will they normally keep it on the table and read it? Or does the user hold it in his or her hands? Or does the user use it in both these ways? To make this experience better in these kind of situations, we will have to adjust the weight of the book so that our hands doesn't get tired, its shape, how sharp or smooth the edges should be, how smooth the cover of the book should be so that it doesn't slips out of the hand frequently, and many other factors too. And similarly, you will have to consider all the other questions like why, where, etc. and try to solve them in an efficient way. As a designer, you will have to have proper research, interviews, analysis, etc. to solve these, and thereby you can make this experience a better one. For resolving all these and to make it a wonderful product that takes users' needs into account, the designers follow a user-centric approach to design. This is done by involving the users and their needs to every stages of the design process. Oh wait, the design process? We never mentioned it earlier, isn't it? So let's jump into it. What is this process? What is this design process? First of all, let me tell you that there is no predefined, standardized set of processes that should be used to solve a design problem. Different problems need different solutions and therefore different processes. This set of processes, which you can see in the screen, is from the website called Career Foundry, and we can consider it as a base for our design process. You'll have to have proper researches, empathize the user's needs, define the real problem that you must solve, ideate the solutions, and make it a prototype, and most importantly, test them. But remember, this is not a linear process, as you can see. You may have to jump back and forth between these steps to come up with a good solution, and also remember there are numerous processes like sub-processes which within each of these stages. So what do you think are the three most important factors for a product? They are usefulness, usability, and desirability. To make this point more clear, we'll consider another interesting example. Let us compare these two coffee cups on the basis of the three factors which I have mentioned earlier. And after my analysis, I think the one on the left side is a better product. So let us compare them both. First of all, usefulness. I think they both are fairly useful enough because we can pour coffee into both of them. So they are fairly useful enough, both of them. The next point is usability. As you can see, the one on the right side is having a very small handle. I can hardly put my 2 fingers into it. It can be very difficult for me to hold it like that. So I may decide to hold it without using those handle. And that can be very difficult too because the coffee inside is hot. But the one on the left side is having a double layered glass, and that will provide a better thermal isolation. And so that I can comfortably hold it using my hands and drink coffee uninterrupted. And what about desirability? No doubt, I think the one on the left is more desirable and contemporary looking. What do you think of it? So based on these factors, I think the one on the left side is a better product. So the next time that you analyze a product, keep these factors in mind and look closely. I think I've given you a fair introduction to this amazing field of UX. Yes, it is just a basic introduction. UX is a vast domain with lots of different fields in it, as you can see in this figure. This domain consists of user experience design, interaction design, motion design, communication design, information architecture, etc. It is a very big domain. For example, please take a look at this. This is a case study created by me as a personal project to improve the experience of online movie ticket booking process. So you can see right here there are a number of processes involved, like conducting user interviews, affinity diagramming, creating user personas, conducting surveys, analyzing its results, creating and taking design decisions from those results, testing, wireframing, creating visual designs for them, again testing it, etc. So there are a number of processes involved within each project before you can come up with a good solution. At the same time, it is not rocket science. You just need interest and determination to learn it. There are many free resources available online to learn the same. Thank you so much for your time. I hope I was able to give a good introduction. Thank you and stay safe.